Hi, this is Amir Amjad. I have more than 9 years of experience in real-time embedded system C++. Currently working with Quest Global, okay, for the client is GE. And previously I worked with Hexaware technologies, Pro technologies, and Cell technologies. And the reason why I am doing this course is I want to move, since I am working for service-based companies. For every decision period, so there is always a problem when the project got closed. We have to search for
decision proof.
I want to be decision proof. And my so many relatives are there in Dubai and Saudi Arabia. So they are looking for some person who can start up the business in the hometown, and they are ready to invest. And who else? I'm the best person.
That's good. See, definitely this is what is aspiration everyone would have. Definitely, no one would be happy at any one particular level. Everyone wants to grow, and more the level you grow, obviously you have to meet a lot of people. Client interaction or vendor interaction would be utmost of importance, and you cannot always believe on your team members. You have to quickly verify the data or whatever they have given, and then you can move ahead, because at the end of the day, the decision maker will be blamed for whatever mistakes the team members have been done. At the same time, if the team members are good, obviously you will get the benefit of that. So it's your responsibility to get yourself trained as well as bring the team to your level, right? So to enjoy the benefits. And I was hearing some of you are from Cisco, IBM and all. Name a company today, name a team within the company. The top level management is very clear that build up some analytical capabilities within your team. Don't always keep depend on some other teams and don't disturb their workload, because the budgets which they allocate, it should not pressurize any particular team. And most of the time they will be deciding how many team members should be there in a team, and if the other team keeps approaching one team for their analytical requirement or data requirement, it will be a huge pressure, and they will not be able to give a quality delivery, right? So name a company like HP or Dell or any companies, IBM, Cisco, they have a separate unit called as analytics units, but still, okay, every department nowadays are creating analytical capabilities, and every manager nowadays is a trend that our team is also analytically equipped team. As a manager, I am also an analytically equipped person, so I can know what is happening in the company, what is not happening in the company, right? So when you do an R&D, how many issues generally pop up in last one quarter or quarter on quarter basis? Is the issues changing? The new technology is coming up. So should we have to equip with the new technology, and how many, once the technology comes up, let it be a smartphone, right? How many issues are coming up in a per quarter for a touch screen basis? How many issues are reboot issues? How many issues are Wi-Fi not connecting, right? How many issues the USB not connecting, right? Especially in the laptop industry, how many times the no boot issues are happening? How many times the hard drive issues are happening? Because today the warranty industry is also a very big industry. Each time a product goes wrong, some of you are from product departments, right? If your product doesn't do well, what happens? Warranty cost goes up, because every time a customer calls and they will ask for a free replacement within the warranty period, and it is unnecessary cost. And if you can analyze what are the major issues which are piling up, you can lead to your product team and ask them to work particularly on that area and to fix those problems. So these are a couple of industry related problems which every person should be aware of in a team if they have to move on to the next level. As a product manager, as a project manager, you should be first of all aware of the issues and its volume. Every issue cannot be given equal importance. First of all, you have to be very clear in what are the major issues. Depending upon the volume it comes up, the problems which comes up, right? So based on that you will decide, right, how many team members should be allocated for this problem, right? Because resource management is a very important thing for a people manager, right? Apart from having a technical knowledge, because only once you have a technical knowledge, then you can understand how many employees should be allocated for how many tasks. Otherwise the team members, they will easily take care of, manipulation in the workload, right? They will clearly say this is taking 8 hours, but that would be taking hardly 1.5 hours or 2 hours, right? So it all happens in the companies. So you should be aware of the main issues and what. This requires, both technical knowledge as well as your analytical capabilities. IBM has come up with its own analytical tool today, and they are inviting free of cost to everyone to market now, right? Just go to IBM website and there is an analytic tab and you can register for them. They will be keep calling for free sessions to explore within their tools what all things you can do, right? And last 3 years back we never heard of tools which are so capable today. Every team nowadays are using Tableau. Every teams are nowadays using SAP modules, Eclipse. Apart from the analytical tools like SAS, R and other things, I'm just speaking about reporting tools. Because top management doesn't have time. And top management wants to look at trendy charts and graphs on the screens. PPT presentation is very, very important, right? You might be very good at work, but if you cannot communicate your work to the top level management, they are not happy, right? I have seen the coloring matters in the PPT. The graphs, colors matters, font size matters, because top level management wants to concentrate on that. And the types of graphs you use, the types of charts you use to present the data. Right? See the same 5 numbers, okay? There are top 5 issues like Wi-Fi issues, right? Then no boot issues, then hard drive issues, right? Or software issues in a product, right? And in last 1 quarter, 20% of data has come from Wi-Fi, 25% has come from no boot issues, 50% has come from hardware, and 5% has come from software. Now you have to give a breakup of this Wi-Fi, no boot, hard drive, software issues. Now what type of graph you present, right? There is a very simple way. People give trendy one bar graph. This is very common. Or you might give a pie chart, right? You will give a breakup and this is one thing. Right? But now the things have changed. The reporting tools have come up with a very powerful way of presentations, and just click on the graph, then it will give a further breakup. Right? These are the things which you should be equipping yourself in order to cater top level management. Very simple. Top level management doesn't have much time now. As soon as they look at the graph or a chart, that it should be enough to read out everything. They should not again look at the data, understand. Then if there is a data, then why should we present it in a chart format? If chart cannot explain everything, what is the use of preparing a chart? Right? A chart should be able to completely give the information about the work you have done. So you might have taken 2 weeks to build this data, right? But just 1 day to prepare a chart. But the chart will explain you last 2 weeks work what you have done. Right? Or one slider, right? One PPT should be able to explain you what you have done in 2 weeks, right? In the year-end appraisal, you may have to send what you have done to your manager. Just prepare one slider with all the work pointers and a small graph what you have done. That will be more professional, and they will think, okay, really you have done something else, right? Instead of just putting, okay, this is what was told to me, I have done this. That means, okay, average performance, right? So, but the presentation is what we are looking at. You will get the confidence on presentation only when you are good at numbers. When you feel that I can play around the numbers, no one can cheat me. I myself am a first hand, in taking the data and analyzing myself for my team and giving a valuable input to my manager that, see, here is a saving. Here is a cost reduction possible. Or here is a new revenue possible. What at most companies interested is only 2 things. Are you able to give some revenues? Or are you able to reduce cost? These are the only 2 ways companies can make profits. They are happy with both these 2 things. Revenue, increase in revenue, there will be a separate team, sales team will be there. They will take utmost care reaching out to the people, Okay, all those things, and R&D department to some extent also will help because they will come up with a new technology or a new product, and that will increase the revenue. But generally at the employee level, okay, they will not be like too much having access to increasing the revenue for the company. But instead every team, if they try, they can definitely reduce the cost. What the general people managers I have seen throughout my life is removing 2 employees is reduction of cost. Right? Earlier I was handling with 120 man hours. Now I am able to manage with 80 man hours. Oh, great job. But that guy is gone. Right? He lost a job. That is what, because in order to meet their appraisal, they will generally take out some of the employees in the team. That is how a general cost reduction will happen. But why don't you take more opportunities? I am having 12 members team. Let me not sack even a single member. Instead, give me some additional job. I am able to handle that. As of now, I am handling 2 teams. I will handle one more team with the same 12 members team. That is how I can reduce the cost and work more smart way rather than hard work. Right? So this is what. Then you will get the visibility in a company. And this can take you to any level. Once you create a visibility, you can take it to the next level. And in order to meet different level managers, you need not be only good at your technical knowledge, you should be able to speak about the numbers. There, what is happening in the company, how much revenue each of your teams are generating, what other teams are generating, how much is the cost reduction. The people who speak, they can sell themselves. That is what is happening today. Right? That is the main complaint also in the industry. Right? People do not know anything but they speak and they sell themselves. Right? But at the same time, if they have knowledge and they can communicate and nothing like that. Okay. So the strong recommendation from my side is, you can earn technical knowledge because you are already working on the field. So it comes out of your experience. Now what extra efforts you have to put outside your working hours is building up your analytical knowledge. And this will help you throughout your life. Even if you are sitting at the top level management, in order to take the decision, right, you have to be very clear. Okay, hard drive is 50%. There are 2 ways to look at it. One is, okay, there is something wrong in the hard drive, that is why more issues are coming up. Okay, are we manufacturing it, or as of now have we outsourced this unit? Are we buying it from someone else? Now there is a decision making you have to take. Right? As of now, if you are manufacturing, let us do outsourcing. Why to unnecessarily waste 50% of our time? Right? This is how management they do. Or if there are 20 and 25%, see to that it doesn't grow up further in next 1 quarter. And some of the times it will be ups and downs. Right? Some quarters hard drive will be 50%, sometimes no book will be 50%. Right? So how to handle these cyclical issues? There will be a trend, there will be a cyclicality in the issues. How do you understand without knowing the knowledge of data? Right? So first of all, you need to start playing around using the data. Then slowly use the data in your company's related stuff. Time to time, whenever you communicate to your manager, try to use this data-based communication. Instead of roughly speaking, I am feeling this might not happen, means who will believe you? I am not feeling this might happen. I feel this might happen. This might not happen. All these things will get value only if you associate something with the numbers. Take the real data. Right, build a database of your own team for a very small thing. That is how you can show what you have done in last 1 year, what is the achievement you have done, and what is something unique compared to other employees. Okay. So how often you guys deal with data in your performance has improved and your bonus and everything depends on this KPI. So you should be aware of how these KPIs are trending up. But if you speak generally, most of us are having a similar issues. Right? We will have some issues, we have to track that, and that depends on how the KPI is performing.
For us it's like uptime.
Okay.
Uptime and MTBF are the main things. Like it should not be repeated.
Correct.
And the failure to failure, it should be like there should be some.
If it repeats, it's a cost for the company. Yeah. How to reduce the cost?
Now
there is a KPI generally in the industry called as RAR. This is called as repeat activity ratio. RAR. Right? So how many times within 7 days, or you can give a timeline. See, repeat doesn't mean It should not repeat at all. It can repeat after a point of time, but you have to define a time period. Within 3 days did that issue again repeated, or within 7 days it repeated. So you have to find out a logic to calculate whether the same issue repeated within 7 days, then 1, I will flag it. Okay, then I will count how many repeat issues happened. Let's say there are 30 repeat issues happened in this week. How many issues were there? Let us say 300 issues were there. So 300 by 30, like 10 times is a repeat activity issue. Now my manager's work and or his responsibility is to reduce this repeat activity. Now how do you reduce the repeat activity? Here where your technical knowledge comes. Now a data analytics guy has given you an issue, right? There is a repeat activity of 10. Reduce it. Now you have to take the help of your team members who has very good technical knowledge. What is causing this repeat activities? Where we are failing? Why is this issue coming up again and again in this model particularly? Whether this issue is there with other model or not. Are you understanding? So it might not be repeating in all the models. It might be repeating in few models. That means that model is having some problem. Right? So these are the
Rally, Jira, for example.
those are all like
Product
product management tools.
now it's continuous integration.
Correct.
So in our team, like we don't have a KPI or those kind of work, but like we generally look for automation or whatever task we can just automate. So sometimes we have to go back 3 years.
You are working for some other teams or your own team? This automation work, you will get it from different teams?
No, for our own team.
Your own
so
team.
internal automation. So like generally, sometimes we have to go back like take 3 years data and just analyze ourselves, not to give it.
Cool.
That I think
Very nice. So you might have used it.
so many.
Okay. So one thing in common we have faced now is we have to have a general understanding about the data, issues, volume, trending, cyclicality, all these issues to completely understand our issue. Secondly, we will have certain KPIs and we have to keep track of those KPIs. These are all our day-to-day work, right? So why I am discussing all these things is, anyway, I will be teaching you a totally different subject here called as investment analysis and portfolio management. Okay, but at the same time, that anyway requires a lot of statistics. So professor thought, let us spend some time initially for you to get a hold on, like data analysis and the statistics, so that it's like a two-in-one purpose. We'll be learning the subject investments as well. At the same time, it will give you a booster for other subjects or in your workplace also. That was our intention of this course. Okay?
Very correct, Professor. See, we want utility of the subjects learned here. Usually what happens in general MBA, what I have noticed, students are, they are studying hard, they are doing latest subjects they are reading, but they don't know where it will fit into the big picture of the organization, because they are not, organizational idea is not there for them. For them every subject is just a scoring platform.
It all depends on where do they get their first job, and that is how they will create their career. They will not have any idea where I have to go or where I have to survive.
So here advantage is all are from the industry, the practicing. So they can correlate the things, what they are doing, and then tomorrow when they go to work, Monday morning, they have a value already added to them. So it should be more of application oriented. That's why this is general executive management program. So that's what I have been telling. My job is to dovetail all the subjects, where each block will fit into their big picture of their career planning. And this is what we want them to take away, and that should be the USP of our Prudent Institute. And we have interested students. That's the main setup of the course. Correct? So unless you are proactive, the professors also cannot do much about that. Okay, as I suggested, bring live issues to the platform. Then this should be a discussion-oriented class. Professor also should get some value back at the end of the course. Correct, Professor?
Correct, absolutely. It's like mutual here.
Yeah.
I will be learning certain things from you. So there are two ways in we look at the data. Okay, one is always historical, and that is how most of the companies we follow, right? We look at the historical data. And the second thing how we look at is, like forecasting, right? Prediction. These are the two things which we have. One is historical, one is the expected, right? So let us quickly learn some basic statistics with the example of this historical data. Okay, so let me use Excel itself.